All right, everybody, so today we're just going to do a quick review of this Duckworth powder hoodie. I just want to go over it, talking about what it's made of, kind of why I like it. I'm a really big fan of wool clothing, but a lot of times it can be really hard to find stuff that's, you know, the right amount of wool or that's actually comfortable, is not scratchy. So we're going to kind of talk a little bit about just its price, why I think maybe this would be something that'd be good for just everybody to buy, and also kind of some of the cons. So we're going to go over what it's made out of, how it's made, and if I think you should buy it. So we'll start off with the first pro of this hoodie. It's really warm. It's made out of 50% wool, 30% acrylic, and 20% polyester. I'm out here at -10 degrees right now in interior Alaska, and I'm actually pretty comfortable. Supposedly the fabric's got a lot of really good insulating properties. It holds in a lot of air. What I've been using this for is I've been using it for a base layer, just throwing it over, you know, just a t-shirt or something before I put my coat on, and that kind of has been really helping me retain some heat. I bought a medium. I'm not a huge dude, but it fits pretty true to size. I haven't washed it. Again, like most wool products, this is going to be something when you wash it, you got to wash it in cold water and either line dry it or flat dry it. So, but yeah, I think it fits pretty good. This is medium. It sits just a little bit below my hips. It's got the normal typical hoodie pouch. It's not scratchy at all. If you look at the inside, it's pretty soft. Like, it feels soft. It doesn't have very many like fibers sticking out like a lot of wool stuff does. But yeah, super comfortable. Again, this is pretty cold outside. It's a pretty dry cold, so it's not, you know, there's not very much humidity. So I guess that's something to take into consideration. But I'm feeling pretty warm right now. I have had one problem I've had with it is when snow gets on the inside, this stuff seems to hold water really well. Like, it won't absorb the water. It'll just stop the water from going into the sweatshirt, so it just kind of sits. Which can be a good thing if you're out fishing or something and, you know, it gets on the outside, but if it gets on the inside, it's not that great. But yeah, so we'll go inside and we'll start talking a little bit more about kind of how it's made, you know, the quality of it and everything. And then we'll talk about the big thing on this, which is the price. It's pretty expensive. I got it on sale, which is one of the reasons I bought it, but that might be a big turnoff for some people buying this. So we'll talk about that too. So let's go ahead and head inside. So another thing I really like about this sweatshirt is it's not just something for wearing out when it's really cold out or in the cold. It's also great. It's just like an everyday sweatshirt. It's really comfortable. You know, one thing I like about it is in the cold, it's got this, when you put the hood up, it kind of V's down, so it kind of covers up your neck. So when I'm out snow machining and stuff, it kind of stops the wind from just blowing straight on my neck. So I like that. Even without my hat on, framing the front of the hood, it still sits pretty tight. But yeah, also a great everyday hoodie just to walk around in. Again, really comfortable. Sits like kind of a little tight around the shoulders, but when I move my arms around, it's still pretty loose. I don't really have any problem with it binding up. It sits really, you know, just a good tightness, I'd say. It's got just the right amount of sweatshirt bagginess that you kind of want in a really comfortable hoodie. And another thing I really like about it is they have a bunch of colors. So they have this rust color, they got a blue, green, gray, black, pretty much any color, you know, somebody would want. Anything, it'll match anything. Let's start looking a little bit more about how it's made and I guess some of the more intricate and specific parts of the sweatshirt. All right, so this is made out of Duckworth's powder fabric. So what that means is it's 50% merino wool, 30% American acrylic, and 20% polyester. So the polyester gives it that little bit of stretch, and then the acrylic is something that's used with wool a lot because they can make it kind of similar in terms of consistency with the wool, and it can thread together really well. So as you can see, it's a little fuzzy, but that's only on the outside. On the inside, there's not really any bristles or anything like that. It's just nice and soft. But you can see, let's pull out one of the sleeves here. it's really, really fine thread. It's really tight. You know, there's no spots where like you can see through it. It's just really warm, and it really holds air in really well. On all of the edges, it has this fringe, which at first I thought I wasn't really gonna like, but honestly it hasn't bothered me at all. I think it's just what ends up happening when the wool gets stitched. As you can see, it's on all the edges. Even the hood's got it a little bit, but it's more on the inside, but we'll talk about that right now. So the reason that is because you can see on the inside of that sleeve, that's where they hem it, to stop it from unfurling, from unraveling, and that's just how that wool ends up looking outside of the hem. It just starts, it just got that kind of fuzzy texture. I have had, let's see, I saw it on the hood here. So you see on the hood where that fuzziness is, you can get these strands, but as soon as you cut them, they're not really a problem. This thing hasn't started to like come unraveled on me or anything. On the pocket, just a typical sweater pocket. It's made out of the same stuff, made out of the same material, and it's a pretty deep pocket. It's got, what I like about it is it's not like all hoodie pockets where it's just a spot to put your hand. It's also got it closed off a little bit, so stuff kind of stays in your sweatshirt a little bit more when you're walking around. Other than that, there's not really much else to say about this thing. So yeah, now that we've kind of talked about the specifics, I'll kind of give you a final verdict on it. So the biggest thing that I think would turn off somebody from buying this really nice hoodie is the price. Without any discounts, it's 170 American dollars. That's a lot of money for just a sweatshirt. For any piece of clothing, that's a lot of money. When you first buy from Duckworth, they have a 20% off welcome coupon, which is what I use, and that brought it down to 140. That's still a lot of money for a sweatshirt. So the reason I bought it was because I'd heard some good things about it from different creators I follow, and different people who definitely work whenever they're using their clothing. So I bought one. I was interested. I kind of looked at their site, looked at some reviews, and I ended up purchasing one. When it got here, I was a little skeptical. All it felt like was just a normal sweatshirt. Didn't really feel like anything special to me. Just felt like, you know, why wouldn't I wear this instead of just a wool base layer? And kind of what it came down to is after I tested it for a couple weeks, this thing truly is probably the warmest sweatshirt I have. I have a bunch of other sweatshirts that look much thicker, feel much thicker, and this thing with, you know, it's warmer, it's lighter, it wicks water better. Even when I'm wearing it out in, you know, just around town and stuff, I don't get overwhelmingly hot in this thing. It's still breathable, and it's super comfortable. I've been able to use it just in my everyday life, but also when I'm doing work, when I'm out, you know, building shelters with my friends. In the video I put out where me and my buddies are out in the woods building a shelter, I wore this the entire time. I had a coat on for about 2 seconds, and then I took my coat off, and I was just fine. So, do I think the price is worth it? Even with the discount, probably not the most cost-effective piece of clothing you can buy. It may just be cheaper to buy a good set of base layers and a sweatshirt. But I think if you're looking for something that's warm, that's light, that's efficient when it comes to how many pieces of clothing you're wearing, it's great. It's soft, warm, and light, and those are 3 really important things to me when it comes to my clothing. And I'm pretty picky about my clothing because I'm always out doing stuff, I'm always working, and I like to have something that's comfortable and also pretty durable. I haven't had a single problem with this thing other than the strands, and that's pretty much any piece of clothing I've ever had. So again, this is the Duckworth powder hoodie. Go check it out, see if it's something you're interested in, and make sure that if you do buy something, you sign up for that newsletter and that welcome email so you can get 20% off. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. I'll probably try to do my best to answer every single one of them. So, thanks, guys. If you liked it, just drop some comments and likes, get that engagement going, and make sure to subscribe. Appreciate y'all.